Today we're making the most incredible, delicious, and easy Oreo cookies and cream ice cream cake. Perfect for summer birthdays, get-togethers. You'll be surprised how easy this method is. Forget Dairy Queen this summer and make your very own ice cream cake. We're going to use a sponge cake base today as it's the only type of cake that defrosts super quickly. And I know this is an ice cream cake, but just because it's frozen doesn't mean you gotta eat a brick, okay? We still want that cake to be soft. This is something not a lot of people take into consideration. We want a soft cake with soft ice cream, not soft ice cream with a brick, okay? We want that cake to remain soft as well. Whip those eggs, gradually adding the sugar until this mixture triples in volume and becomes a pale mayonnaise color. This is how you'll know the eggs have been whipped up properly. When you lift up the beaters, the batter should form ribbons. The full recipe with lots more tips will be in the description box below and on my website, emmafontanella.com. And if you're new to my channel, hello there, welcome. Make sure to subscribe and click that bell. I post new videos every week, or I try to. To the cocoa powder, I've added some hot milk. You want to mix these together. Not only will this bloom the cocoa, but it will be easier to mix a paste into the batter. The batter will slightly deflate, but it should still keep somewhat of its airy texture. So as soon as the cocoa is mixed in, stop the mixture. We're going to fold in the flour, baking powder, and salt. Sifted. Yes, you do need to sift these ingredients. We want to get rid of any lumps beforehand. Use a spatula to incorporate the dry ingredients and make sure you get the bottom of the bowl as well. As you can see, the flour will sink to the bottom, so it's important you get the bottom as well. As soon as the flour has incorporated, the batter is ready. Careful to not knock out all the air. Okay, we want that air. Okay, so just be careful. And we're going to pour this batter onto a cookie sheet lined with some parchment paper. You do want to grease the parchment paper as well, or the cake will stick. Using the cookie sheet method to make this cake allows you to have soft cake and frozen ice cream. If you were to make the cake in a regular cake tin, because the cake is so tall, the ice cream would melt before the cake has a chance to soften. Tall cakes take a lot longer to defrost. Thin cake layers, on the other hand, only take a few minutes to defrost. You're going to bake this baby in a preheated oven at 160 degrees Celsius or 320 Fahrenheit for about 10-12 minutes. You're going to let this cake cool completely in the pan, and then you're going to unmold it. Take some parchment paper, another cookie sheet, and flip this over. Fast in one movement. Remove that parchment paper. It should pull away pretty easily since we greased it. Now from this cake, we're going to get two cake layers, the top and the bottom. Cut it down the middle. You do not need to be precise. You can, but it's really not necessary. And boom, you got two cake layers. Set those to the side, and I gotta thank the sponsor of today's video, Fetch Rewards. This is such a cool app. If you're not familiar with Fetch Rewards, let me show you how it works. You download the app, you take a picture of your receipts. This works with any type of receipts, by the way, even online receipts. So if you do your shopping online, you can use those as well. You scan the receipts, you earn points, and with those points, you redeem rewards. It's a free app, it's easy to use, and you put to use those old receipts that are just lying around. And you get free gift cards to your favorite stores. Just browse the rewards section. They have so many gift cards to choose from. Who doesn't like free gift cards? If you use my code Emma, you immediately get 3,000 points when you scan your first receipt. So download the app, check it out. I'll leave a link in the description box below. Okay, we're gonna make the 2-ingredient ice cream. Now, from my experience, you either love this ice cream or you hate it. If you're someone who hates it, I challenge you to make this one. It all comes down to the recipe you use and what toppings you use. 2-ingredient Oreo ice cream just hits differently. You'll be eating this by itself. Forget the cake and make the ice cream. It's that good. I'm telling you, as long as you follow this exact recipe that I'm giving you, you will love this. I've whipped up my cold heavy cream with vanilla, and I've added the cold sweetened condensed milk. Now, because we're going to pipe this mixture, we want to whip this ice cream base really well. We're looking for a pipeable, somewhat stiff texture. A good indication to know that you whip this up properly is if you hold up your spatula, the ice cream base will sit on the spatula perfectly. It will not move, it will not fall off, it will just stay there. Now you're gonna reserve 1/3 of this mixture. This will be used to frost the sides and top of the cake. Add it to another bowl and pop it in the fridge until ready to use. Now to the remaining ice cream base, we're gonna add about 18 to 20 Oreos. The trick to making this ice cream taste amazing is to add lots of Oreos and big chunks of Oreos. You want actual Oreo pieces, okay? So roughly chop them up with a knife. Do not use a food processor, use a knife. The mistake I see a lot of people do is 1, not adding enough Oreos, and 2, not cutting them in large chunks, okay? We want to actually feel and taste that crunch from the Oreos. I'm telling you, if you do it this way, you will absolutely love this ice cream base. You're gonna pop this ice cream base in a piping bag. Remember to cut a hole that's big enough for the Oreos to easily come out. You do want to work fast here. It is summertime. Cold whipped heavy cream does not hold up well in hot weather, so just work as fast as you can. Add the remaining cake layer on top, pressing it down gently, and cover the entire cake with a thin layer of frosting, of the ice cream base, not frosting, that we set aside before. If you feel your ice cream is starting to warm up, just pop the cake in the freezer for about 10 minutes and then continue to ice it. Add chocolate sauce on top. You gotta have chocolate sauce with this cake. And more crushed Oreos. I'm telling you, the crunch from those big Oreo pieces makes this cake so delicious and amazing. I personally would have added more Oreos, more crushed Oreos on the sides of the cake as well, but I didn't want to ruin the chocolate trick. Now this cake does need to go in the freezer, obviously, for a minimum of 8 hours. So if you want to make this the day before, please do so. Go ahead. Fast forward 8 hours later or the day after. Remember to take the cake out of the freezer 15 minutes before serving. It's going to be easier to cut, and nobody likes rock hard ice cream straight out of the freezer. If you do, well, honey, salty ice cream is where it's at. I remember when I was a kid, I used to take a spoon, swirl the ice cream as fast as I could in the bowl so it would, melt basically. It would become soft. Am I the only one who did that? Anybody at all? Anyway, for your next birthday party, make this cookies and cream ice cream cake, soft ice cream, soft cake, crunchy Oreos, the best of all worlds.